Oh, if there was ever a moment
Yup.
of what time it is today, y'all know what time it is.
It
Today,
is
but
a
first,
football
I got
Friday.
football Friday. My boys are back. They had to take a little hiatus last week, so I had to get a little out of control, get myself, completely out of whack. So Moolage is back in the building. GQ is back in the building. How's it going, fellas?
Hey man, I'm feeling really good. I had tuned into the show while I was away on my little hiatus road trip. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying,
I think
whatever
that
we
is
want
a.
to call it. But
There we go.
I see my boy Mel over here turned up with the drink in his hand. He had the pink swirly drink in his hand. You know what I'm saying? Was going crazy with it. So hey, I'm glad. There it goes. There it goes. Y'all see it, man. I'm glad to be back, man. How you doing?
Yeah.
I heard a rumor on my road trip back from Arkansas that the male really got on his OG old head type shit, and we missed out on that. So now we here to see what
Yeah.
the hell really
Yeah,
happened.
yeah, but we back. I got filled. The fellas in, and I put on my just God because only God can judge me today. Okay, so I am on my
You on that
Tupac.
one today?
I am I am on one today. This is gonna be my hit 'em up, my ether, my kill shot, my no Vaseline, my the Ripper's back. This is it. The Darrell Revis conversation ends today. It
Oh,
ends
Mel
today.
is gonna be on
He
one
said it
today
ends today. Like it
about
ain't even
Revis.
started yet, but it
It
already
Yes,
ends.
dog. It's gonna go down. I
it
don't know
ends
if
today.
Revis is your favorite corner. I don't know if you were a Jets or Patriots fan back in the day. I know my boy GQ out here is a big Patriots fan, but
Absolutely, 1,000%.
it's Mel got some smoke. He got that cayenne for
Yeah,
Revis
but
today.
this is for SB before we get going.
Shout out to SB.
So what are you
Okay,
sipping on is the $1 million question. Are you just sipping on like a wine cooler or like what's really going on in that glass right now?
this would be my margarita.
There we go.
Oh, okay. We got this. Okay, strawberry margarita
This-
type of thing going on. Okay, now it all
yeah,
makes sense why Mel was acting a fool because tequila makes people do crazy things and
Hey,
say crazy things.
it's-
And depending on
yeah.
what state you live in, like I live in Texas, tequila makes your clothes fall off depending on where you at. So thank you for keeping your clothes on
Okay.
last Friday, Mel. We appreciate that.
No, the close is
oh
on. The
my
close is on. The
god.
close is on. So, if you missed it last week, things kind of went sideways. A couple different conversations. If you know me, everybody, I am synonymous. I am known for two things really. One, fuck LeBron James. You know I don't like LeBron James. And the other person that it has always fucked them is Darrell Reeves. And last week we got in on Darrell Reeves' ass again. So before I go completely nuclear on this, the conversation was Darrell Reeves was he top five,
Tell him to go
This
in the
man
chat.
said
and
no fade.
and Wayne said, well, they both said Wayne and SB. I'm gonna put your names in this because we're gonna do this. That Darrell Reeves was a top two cornerback all time, top two cornerback, not of a decade,
5 years ago.
anything, all time. Okay, you guys' opinions on this Darrell Reeves situation.
I want to know where
Well, let's go
exactly
first.
you have Darrell Revis at as a rank in your personal rankings. Where do you have a Mr. Darrell Revis at?
Yeah,
I
like
just need
let's start with
before I
that.
rank.
That's a very good question. What's the baseline for this? Because
Okay,
if he's
matter of
not
fact,
top two, like, just don't be outrageous and say he's not top 10, because then I'm gonna get fired up. Because that'd be some straight up BS. That'd be some BS. I'm
no,
sorry.
but that was part of the conversation. I was like, he's barely top 10 if he's top 10 at all.
Barely?
So
Barely top 10? Oh, okay.
right.
Oh,
So I got
Look,
so
let
I
me go
got
find this
so I
cayenne
got
pepper real quick.
so I got oh yeah, no, look, we're gonna be crazy today. We're gonna be crazy. So I got Prime, Woody, I got Rod Woodson, I got Champ, Mel Blunt, Lester Hayes, Daryl Green, Aeneas Williams, that's 8. Um, he might be 9 or 10, depending on how I'm feeling. But I got Stephon Gilmore up there as well.
He said how I'm feeling, depending on how I'm feeling. So if Mel wake up one day and he don't get his coffee, Darrell Rivers might be like 11.
I'm just
He
trying
might
to
be
figure out
11.
who the 10 in front of him would be. Like
That's the only thing.
I just named. I just did.
You named 8. You did not. You said
Right, and
depending on when you
Stephon
wake up.
and
You didn't
Steph
name. Yeah, but you didn't name
and
10 in front
Stephon
of
Gilmore
him. Yeah,
and Stephon Gilmore.
Gracious.
yeah, but that would only be 9, which would make him 10. Like I'm saying, you ain't.
That
Really
was like I said. I said right now he's 10 or 9, depending on how you want to flip it. And then if I really sit down and look at a list, he might be 11 as well.
So let's deep dive into this.
11 or
Before
12?
we even look,
Okay.
Rue, let me get into my interview bag now. We got to deep dive into this. So
Okay.
talk to us, Mel. What was the criteria when you went into this? Like, where did you start eliminating people, moving cats up? I understand your top 5. I'm not even gonna argue your top 5. Your top 5 can be switched around accordingly, but I'm not even gonna argue with that because it's a solid top 5. But the rest of it, like, what was the initial criteria going into it? This is a football show, ladies and gentlemen. Just we have to continue to reiterate that this ain't just I'm a fan of football. Let me put this list together. There was some reasoning to it, so I'm trying to pull the curtain back for y'all.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So
we got to dissect this a little bit.
My criteria is the same all across the board, regardless of sports. So it's personal accomplishments, it's statistical accomplishment, it's team accomplishment, it's all of that stuff rolled into a bag. So the original, so that's how and where you were at the time of your career, like your highs, your lows, all of those things, how long you did it, all of those things matter. Now, to get to the crust of all this, this was all about Charles Woodson and Darrell Revis.
Okay.
So, I when we talk about Darrell Revis, I tell people it's more myth than reality. Okay, so this is Darrell Revis' career in a nutshell. In a nutshell, this is just what it is. Super Bowl champ, 4-time All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler, member of the 2010 All-Decade Team.
All solid accolades.
Absolutely.
All solid accolades. But when I tell people that Charles Woodson is better than him, and there is at no point in time was he better than Charles Woodson,
Which I
people
don't
look at me like I'm crazy. People look at me, they look at me crazy. And they like to hang their hat on the 2009 season where Darrell Revis was cooking. He was in his little skillet.
I mean,
right?
That's fair. There's more to it to Revis than that, but I mean, I guess 09 is a good place to start. But if we talk about totality, totality of his work.
Appreciate you, go.
We have to. There's a very important factor involved in this list that we need to take into account, and it's the era in which Revis played in. Revis played in an era where we were a lot more pass happy than we were back when the Woodsons and the Primes and they were playing. You only threw in the times of the Primes if you had a dog like that. In the modern NFL, we're talking. Let's put a time on this. Let's say realistically, 2005 to now. Because that's probably when we really started getting into this air raid spread, put 4 wide receivers on the field. Let's say 2005 to now, give or take. You had to be a good corner, or you weren't gonna make it. You was gonna be barbecue chicken every Sunday. And when Revis initially came into the league, even when you want to look at his numbers in Tampa, you want to look at his numbers in New England, you want to look at his numbers with New York, he did what he was supposed to do. Given the era, he didn't give up a lot of big plays. He didn't give up a lot of touchdowns. Like, he didn't do a lot of that stuff. Like, he played as well as he could play given the type of era he had to play in. I'm not making an argument for him being like number one or anything like that. I'm just making an argument for Revis just from watching him play.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do. This is Melvin. Here we go. This is Charles Woodson. His career in a nutshell. Super Bowl champ. They both got that in common. 8-time Pro Bowler. 8-time All Pro. So more than Revis. 9-time Pro Bowler. More than Darrelle Revis. Led the league in interceptions twice. Rookie Defensive Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. Do you know how many players in NFL history, well, cornerbacks in particular, have won Defensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year in their careers?
Ranks fourth all time in interceptions with 68.
Yeah. One, that would be Charles Woodson. Then we go to, there are only 6 cornerbacks in the history of the NFL to ever win Defensive Player of the Year. This also goes into my top 10 list.
Two of them were, because Stephon Gilmore is your last one to do it.
Yeah, Stephon Gilmore, the last one. Charles Woodson before him.
Check that.
Deion Sanders, Rod Woodson, Mel Blount, Lester Hayes. Now, and this amazing 2009 season that everybody loves from Darrelle Revis. They love it. You know who won Defensive Player of the Year that year?
2009. Why do I feel like it was some defensive end who did something ridiculous that year?
I think it was Luke
Kuechly. Nope. Charles Woodson.
I think Kuechly was the following year.
Yeah, you said 2009.
Charles Woodson.
Yeah,
it was Charles
10.
Woodson.
Yeah,
Kuechly
was 10.
Charles Woodson.
He was 09. You're right.
So the best season, the crown jewel of his career, Charles Woodson won Defensive Player of the Year that year.
He also led the league in interceptions that year and defensive touchdowns.
So this is my argument when I tell people, I'm like, look, and Darrelle Revis, he played 11 seasons. And it's crazy because, I'll take it to the LeBron conversation where people like, oh, well, LeBron could play all 5 positions and yada, yada, yada. And then when I talk about Charles Woodson, they're like, well, he had to move to safety. Yeah, but he was also an All-Pro and a Pro Bowler at safety. So now we don't like versatility.
Oh no, we love versatility.
So they can't really use that if they're gonna give Rod Woodson credit for doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And Charles Woodson could play on the outside, he could play the slot, and he could play safety. He did all of it. Not to mention, these are Darrelle Revis' career stats. He had 497 tackles, 29 interceptions, 3 touchdowns, and 139 pass deflections. That's amazing. That's dope. I'm going to give you Charles Woodson then. 105 tackles, 20 sacks, 65 interceptions, 13 touchdowns, and 33 forced fumbles. Yeah. Not to mention all the other bullshit that I said about Charles Woodson.
Oh,
like,
why it's got to be bullshit though?
It's not even, it's not even close between these two. Like, it's not even remotely close. Like, it's not even close by any stretch of the imagination. And this is not to say Darrelle Revis wasn't a dominant corner when he played. I'm just telling everybody Charles Woodson was just more dominant when he played. And they played during the same time.
Where Revis be on Twitter.
No, I'm not.
So
I was just curious. Like, I'm not gonna argue that because I'm not. There's been so many corners. Let's just play this game. There's been so many elite corners, not even just corners, elite corners.
Yeah.
In the last, let's just say 15 years. Let's just say 15 years.
Definitely.
So to put together a top 10 list is extremely difficult, but the OGs still stand tall. They do.
Absolutely.
Your Champ Baileys, your Ty Laws, like these guys still stand strong because of what they did.
Right.
Whether you look at the 90s, the early 2000s, you look at 2010,
Now,
2016, wherever you want to look at.
Yep.
And even a guy like, Stephon Gilmore, who's moved around the league a little bit, which is weird that a corner of that talent had to move around like he did, but still relevant. Had one of his better seasons last year with the Colts. Like, for some reason, they still tested this man in the red zone, and he was still making you pay for it. He also had a nasty interception against the Dallas Cowboys that, we'll talk about. I just wanted to bring that.
That's why he's a Cowboy now.
I just wanted to bring that up because it was one of my favorite plays to watch last year. Because
that's why he's a Cowboy now.
Like, why would you test a corner that's that long on a curl route? Is unbeknownst to me.
Absolutely ridiculous. But you mentioned another person that at the end of the show, and I was like, I can argue that this person is either as good or better. I would say better, but I'm gonna leave it alone. In Ty Law, people don't realize how good Ty Law was, and I get it. This was before a lot of people started really watching football.
Hey, that sounds like a them problem.
But Ty Law,
that sounds like their problem because when you were going on about the list, I was like Ty Law's name.
Like, there's a time where you didn't talk about Champ Bailey without Ty Law being in this conversation. Like this was the 1-2. This was the 1-2 conversation for a very long time in the NFL. Like, literally, it was who would you start your defense with? This guy, and you couldn't. You're not wrong. You're not wrong with either. Like, and that's the thing. Like, you weren't wrong whether you took Champ Bailey, whether you took Ty Law, because the numbers will show you it didn't matter. And then a couple years later, you can sprinkle in Asante Samuel in his mix too, who was another guy that he didn't have as long of a stretch of being a great corner as some of the others, but he still gave you a good, I'm gonna say 5 to 6 to be realistic, where he was somebody you didn't want to try. You want to pick 6, throw it to Samuel side and watch what happens, because he will pick that and take that thing to the house. That was definitely what he would do.
Play around if you want to. Yep.
Yeah.
So this was like I tell people, like this is what I do. Like, football is what I do. This is Melvin. This is me in a nutshell. If we're gonna talk football, we're gonna talk football. And I will get very passionate about my football. And especially when it comes to positions that I personally play, I pay more attention to. So when we talk wide receivers, Calvin Johnson is next on the list. His ass is up on the clock for next week, just so everybody knows.
Tick tock, tick tock.
You're next, Calvin Johnson. Okay.
We'll definitely get Wayne back on the show so he can go back and mail for this. We gotta get SB.
Oh yeah,
sure.
Yeah, no, I'm bringing them both back. I'm bringing them both back because I need.
Whenever they ready, we ain't had no.
It's a football show. We talking about Ty Law, not Ty Lawson.
This man said Ty Lawson.
You got to get out the see right now. You said Ty Lawson. That is.
We said Ty Law, not Ty Lawson. One wears a headband, the other one don't.
No, ridiculous. Absolutely nuts.
This is a football show, not a basketball show.
Yeah. So when we talk, no, you're not. You will never cook me in a discussion about.
Oh, I forget he's a Lions fan, but
he's a Lions fan.
There's nothing to cook. There's nothing to cook about.
Okay, we got Super Lions fan. You'll go
because we're gonna do our top. We're gonna do our top 10 all-time wide receivers next week. We're gonna do that.
Ooh, I got a homework assignment. What's up?
Yeah. So that's a quick preview of what's going down next week. And I will guarantee you this: Mr. Megatron will not be on Melvin's list. So we can go there.
You mean Eric Bledsoe?
Bledson?
He just throwing names now. He's just
throwing. Yeah, he's just out there. I'm just flipping names.
We got names popping up. We got names.
Ty Lawson is a 2K goat and a Nuggets goat.
I don't know about all that.
That's false.
I don't know.
That is so. Unless we talking about chicken nuggets, that is the only.
Yeah, you must be talking about chicken nuggets from McDonald's or something.
Chicken nuggets
from the only way.
Like, no, Ty Lawson ain't even a top 5 Nuggets player of all time. Like, we're not even. This is not a basketball show. Don't get me on my horse right now.
Yeah, we did this last time. Yeah, we did this last time. We're not going to talk basketball on this Football Friday. We are not going to do that. So after I get, I'm reserving most of my ammo. You know what I'm saying? For SB and Wayne, the challenge has been thrown out there. I told them they will come back on a future show to take these L's. But
I just want to hang out and moderate. That'll be fun.
So who?
Kim Patrick is a beast in Madden.
Look. Okay, you know what? This is what we're gonna do. I already told GOAT. You got to put your gamer tag in the chat. I already told you that. I got to teach you a couple lessons in this man.
Whoopsie. You heard what he
Okay.
said. We have a gamer Discord.
We do have a gamer.
We do have a gamer Discord.
Oh,
If you guys would
okay.
So make sure if y'all not
Yes.
following us from the sidelines in our Discord, we do have zero problem initiating and dropping smoke on the games. Like I'm just saying, I'm a PS5er, so but
And we are multiversal in the games. We play all games, so please come get this smoke. This is an open challenge.
I'm a Madden guy. I'm a Madden guy, so taking on challenges in Madden. Next
I'm a
gen
loud noise
only.
and chaos guy. I play a lot of Battlefield. It's kind of my thing. I like chaos.
All right. So let's get to at this Revis.
Oh, see, he really is trolling now.
No,
It's
you don't want.
I like it.
Look, yeah, you don't. I told you.
That's Troy.
So we got Troy.
Okay, it's Troy.
Okay, so we got Troy talking the nonsense.
Troy said play him and dice.
So look, for y'all Madden folks out there, man, I'm just saying, Mel, just to make it fair, y'all should definitely play random teams when y'all do it.
I can play any team.
Hit that random button a few times and then pick your playbooks accordingly.
Oh, yeah, it don't matter. I don't matter to me. Don't matter to me. I'm a Madden player. This is what I do. I'm a football player. So it don't matter. Team don't matter. The only thing that matters, as long as I got the sticks in my hand, we good. That's all that matters. So we're gonna go. Let's get some training camp talk. Buffalo. Well, let's go free agency. Let's knock out some free agency talk. Last week we touched on D Hop. You guys wasn't here. We touched on D Hop getting released. Possible landing spots on where he could go. What are your guys' feelings on D Hop getting released, and your guys' takes on where he might go and feelings and all that good stuff?
So the start, just the fact him getting released signifies one thing: the Cardinals are in a full-on restart, 100%. Yep. So best of luck to the Cardinals, because you brought in, of all the new coaching hires you brought, that's the most inexperienced coach, and it's already showing, because this is now twice in D Hop's career he has been tossed away for either nothing or pocket lint.
Literally,
absolutely nothing.
So make that shit make sense, because when it's all said and done, like, D Hop's going to be in this top 10 receivers conversation without question. Like, it's just he's done this with absolute trash at quarterback outside of Deshaun Watson. So I'm gonna leave that one alone for another day. But what I will say is it just further proves that Kyler Murray is not that guy. But we're gonna roll with that. We'll see. As far as landing spots, he's at that age now where he needs to go play for a contender, 100%. Like, it needs to be like, and I know he's talked about, I know Kansas City and the Bills have come up and they've been in a hell of an arms race for a very long time, trying to figure out who's going to do what. Now, because this is a football show, ladies and gentlemen, let me throw a team that you may not have thought about into this conversation: the Los Angeles Chargers. I bring the Los Angeles Chargers into this conversation simply because look at the two receivers that they already have. One that's often injured and the other one who's often injured. So insert DeAndre Hopkins. And now, if at any point in time you have, whether it's Keenan Allen and D-Hop, whether it's Williams and D-Hop, or if you somehow get all three on the field, you have a mismatch on the field. Because if for some strange reason you decide, I'm going to put D-Hop in the slot. Yeah, okay, he's cooking everybody's number 3 corner without question. There ain't a single.
Well, actually, Keenan Allen goes in the slot at that point.
Well, for my money and the catch radius that he has, I would put D-Hop in the slot. That's just me. I would let Keenan Allen do what he does and just hang out and have fun, be open. We know Williams is your red zone threat. That's kind of always been his role because he cooks the Chiefs when they play him. That's kind of his role, is the Chiefs cooker.
True.
Even though they still end up not winning very many games after that. But you give Justin Herbert another type of a safety valve like that, because if you let a guy like D-Hop just play around in the middle of the football field, I can see.
You don't have enough.
I don't think you have enough coverage for it. I just don't. And the AFC is an arms race. It's not just the Chiefs and the Bills. You've got the Chargers, who are trying to stay in this conversation, trying to stay relevant, and in the AFC West for that matter. The Broncos trying to stay relevant. You've got all these. The Bengals are trying to stay relevant. I've heard of him even going to Cleveland, which I think will be another great. Bring him back with D-Hop. I mean, with Deshaun Watson. That'd be great, because Cleveland has a slightly above average receiving core. He makes them that much better because now
Slightly above average. I think their receiving core is legit.
No, I do. It's just you look at outside of like you have Amari Cooper, you got Donovan Peoples-Jones, who some people for some reason just don't seem to know who this guy is for some reason, even though he's a dual threat. He can bust your ass for a punt return, or he can kill you down a seam route down the middle of the field and score a touchdown. We understand this, the football people in this conversation, but the casual fan does not seem to, keep up with these types of things. But you bring in a guy like D-Hop for that matter. Now Peoples-Jones truly can be in the slot and
with
do what he's
Elijah
supposed
Moore.
to do. Exactly. And then you still have Elijah Moore, who's going to take the top off. So if he's taking the top off, you know what you're going to get out of Amari Cooper. He's a first down receiver. That's who he is. He's going to catch that first down, and he may make the first guy miss, which is cool. No big deal. But you're going to get home Amari Cooper and away Amari Cooper. You're going to get both. So you got to kind of play your game with that. So if I had to put, I would pick those two teams. I would look at the Chargers and I would look at the Browns as two teams I would look at. Just trying to keep the AFC interesting. Because if he goes to the Chiefs, it's a cheat code. We know this. It's a cheat code. If he goes to the Chiefs, it's a cheat code. If he goes to the Bills, it's also a cheat code. Because you've already got two guys. Like, it's just, I just want to keep the AFC compelling for the rest of the NFL season.
I want to see him go to the Ravens.
That would be hella interesting.
That was my
for Lamar.
Yeah. So you give him.
Yeah, give Lamar D-Hop and Odell with those young weapons.
And Rashad Bateman, you still got Mark Andrews, you still got those young running backs. Like
you still got those young running backs. You still got a really good defense, and that's exactly what he said he wanted to play with. He said he wanted a serious quarterback, a good quarterback with a good defense, and everything starts with the D line. I can't think of one that'll be better for him in that type of situation, especially going to that division with that type of competition. You have to see a Joe Burrow, you have to see a Deshaun Watson 2 times a year. Yeah, that division already turned up like that, and then you add a D-Hop.
And you still got Pittsburgh that's trying to kind of find themselves again, like. Yep.
And they still have some scary receivers over there as well, too. So
the beauty of this entire situation is that D-Hop's a free agent. So money's not the issue. Money's not the issue. If he wants to play, we all would say the same most likely. We've been in the league as long as D-Hop is in. I'm like, look, I'm trying to play for a championship.
Yep.
I've made the money I'm going to make. I'm not sitting there telling you I'm going to take no bullshit ass contract either. But if I'm D-Hop, I don't even need to take Odell's contract. I don't need 15 mil guaranteed. Like I don't. I'm content. I'm content taking 8 to 10 if I'm playing for a contender. And I'm not talking about a team that's on the way up. I'm talking about a legitimate. When the power rankings come out every single week, they are in that discussion of a top 5 to 6 team in the power rankings type of a contender. Not, this is the dark horse of the year. No, fam. Somebody we've been talking about for the last 3-4 years as far as being a contender is what we're talking about when we say playing for a contender.
Definitely.
Yep. Nah, I'm 100% on that because I think the 2 teams that I would ideally want to see him go to would be Cleveland or Baltimore. Ideally. He goes to Cleveland, you got the rapport with Deshaun, and you add him to that receiving core with that tight end, with those running backs, with that defense, it gets kind of ugly. Like, it gets real ugly real fast.
The North gets crazy.
Insane. Yeah. That division is insane.
Yeah, you put him in Detroit. I mean, you put him in, I said Detroit, fucking goat. You put him in Baltimore with the Ravens. Even if let's just say you got all the secondary help in the world to match up with their receivers and their tight ends, you still got to deal with Lamar Jackson running the ball.
And then if you got Lamar just on a bootleg and all of a sudden I got D-Hop just running a drag across the field, bye.
Mm-hmm. And I'll give you one.
Honestly, I feel like that going to Cleveland or going to Baltimore would probably be the best because if you go to Baltimore, they just got rid of Ozzie Newsome, right? So now they have a whole new offensive system that they're really going to focus on Lamar throwing the ball. That's beautiful for receivers now. That was the golden myth that everybody was trying to throw out there. Oh, well, Lamar doesn't like to share the ball. He likes to run the ball too much, and that offense is this and this, and it's predicated to. It's like that's actually false.
Anybody who was he going to throw the ball to?
Exactly, he had nobody.
Man made a tight end his number 1 receiver.
Exactly. There's nobody to throw the ball to because nobody wanted to come play in that system. Now they have a different system, and Lamar got his money, and they see the other receivers that are there. They're like, oh, shit, wait a minute. Let me go see what that is. Let me go see what that's about. And that can literally change the whole thing. That's why I got Lamar for MVP this year.
I'm gonna give you one more. This is my dark horse. And this one, I believe they can make history if this happens.
Innocent to your answer all the time.
What if he goes to Jacksonville?
You know, I thought about that for a second.
Give a young quarterback like that a bona fide, like dangerous number one like that.
With Calvin Ridley coming back.
Exactly. I thought about that.
You still got Zay Jones, like you still have that. That's a young comparable team.
Still got Zay Jones.
Don't they also have Evan Ingram too? He's there.
Evan Ingram. Yep.
Man, Dad, you want to talk about the AFC arms race?
We had a great season last year.
So, and we talked about dark horses. Like here's two that I just want everybody to think about and not sleep on. Don't sleep on the San Francisco 49ers in this situation either. Because we've been talking about the AFC and the arms race, but the NFC is ripe for the taking.
Yeah.
So if he was to go to San Francisco, we know what Kyle Shanahan, give Kyle Shanahan, Deebo Samuel, and DeAndre Hopkins, and tell me he can't make magic happen. And then I'll throw one more out there just because, I love you guys very much, but don't sleep on the Raiders in this situation.
Well, he's not. He's actually 100% cool because the one guy that I think we had the conversation last week about, because Wayne didn't think that the Raiders should value Devontae Adams' opinion on personnel and stuff like that.
We have a special guest.
A special guest in the show.
But Devontae Adams said that he wouldn't mind D-Hop coming.
That'd be scary.
And honestly, that was kind of crazy. A crazy take from Wayne saying that they shouldn't value Devontae Adams' opinion. They definitely should. He's a number one receiver. He came there for a reason. You definitely have to keep your guy happy, especially one that you paid a lot of money to, and that's going to be the primary focus, or at least one of the primary focuses of your offense. So
despite the confusing quarterback situation where you may or may not have Jimmy G based on how he recovers from this whole foot thing.
I called it,
but at least the clause is in there. That is a first. I've never heard of a contract designed that way, but it's kind of brilliant.
It is.
It only works when you acquire broken property. I'm gonna say it, and I hate to use it like that, but that's essentially what you did because we know Jimmy G's history. We know this.
Yep.
So, and I'm going to do this one thing before you go. This is going to be. I don't know if this happens, but like I said, this is a football show. We're about stepping out on ledges and talking craziness at the moment, but should it materialize, I told you so. So let's just say D-Hop does go to Las Vegas or comes to Las Vegas since I'm in Las Vegas. You got D-Hop, Adams, you got the two tight ends. You have Josh Jacobs, who's fighting for a contract. Jimmy G doesn't come. He's not ready to rock and roll. He's still hurt. You need a fucking quarterback. Now, we all know Tom Brady is in the front office right now. He's part owner of the team. He can come down and play quarterback. We know he's still in shape. He's not going to do it. No. That's my secondary option. But
so he can, but it requires a vote from the other 31 teams, which three teams in your own division would not vote yes for that.
Right. But then
they're smart, because I damn sure would be like, hell no.
My then option becomes this. Do you make the call to Cam Newton?
Yes.
You have to consider it.
You have to.
You have to consider it.
Because you can't go with Brucey. That is Brucey behind Jimmy G right now. Okay,
you got a 38-year-old Brian Hoyer and whoever the fuck they drafted. I don't even remember the kid's name.
That is Brucey.
What you call him? Brucey. His name is Brucey.
His name is Brucey. Okay, he looks exactly like Brucey from the long shot. We can't
absolutely have to consider calling
a 67-year-old Hoyer and a 12-year-old with the number 4. we can't do. There's no way. Okay, we would season with
the fact they gave him number 4.
Okay, there's a reason why I play DB. Okay, we would have a better season if I was at quarterback than that 10-year-old that they gave Derek Carr's number to, bro. I don't understand what's going on.
I'm upset for it. Yeah, I'm upset.
Hold on, because I'm about to go on a little Raider tirade because these everybody that pissed me off again. And I done sat there and I done freaking listened to everybody tell me that Jimmy G was a winner. He's this and he's that. He can't even stay healthy. And now he's not even going to be healthy for the beginning of the season. I promise you, watch him not play that first game, even though he sat there and lied to the media and said, oh, I'm going to be ready for that first game. No, the hell you not. Don't be sitting here lying, okay? You sat there and they went out there and they went and got somebody who's not only injured. That's why I called him Jimmy Glass, because not only injury prone, the man can barely throw 40 yards down the goddamn field. We have Devontae Adams. We got a kid named Jacoby Myers. We got Hunter Renfrow. We got 2 new tight ends, and we're not even going to be able to get the ball to him because we got a 5-year-old at quarterback now because Jimmy G can't play. And Brian Hoyer ain't got no arm because if you throw the ball too hard, he's going to throw out his shoulder, bro. This is what I was talking about. Why do you get rid of a quarterback only to go on another 10-year quarterback chase? It does not make any sense to me. Call Cam Newton right now.
That's what I would do.
I'm just saying. There's a reason why your bottom 5 to 6 NFL teams are still down there because they haven't answered the quarterback question.
We ranked 3rd in worst offseason this year.
Even New England without a true offensive coordinator last year was more relevant than Jimmy G's entire health career.
3rd worst offseason this season, the Raiders.
Because we didn't address the biggest part of the offense, and that's quarterback.
And damn near lost Josh Jacobs.
And damn near lost Josh Jacobs.
Lost a tight end. Didn't address the offense.
You traded him because he didn't invite you to his wedding.
Didn't address it.
Which is petty because I'm just saying his wife plays for the Vegas for the Aces and keep the family together, but fuck family, I guess.
Yeah. No, he didn't care about that.
You don't let a talent like Darren Waller just go. Like you just
not at all.
Like if you brought in an injury-prone quarterback, at least keep the sometimes injured tight end. Like I'd rather keep him than keep the often injured quarterback.
At this point, you're right.
Yeah.
This is the only time you're going to be right about the Lions and Raiders for the time.
I will never, ever, ever, ever in my life say the Lions are better than anyone except the Dallas Cowboys.
I will say the Lions are better at the Raiders than one thing: gambling.
Oh, and we're in Vegas. We're in
Vegas. Yeah. That's a good point.
And then you see there's possibly a 5th guy involved in that whole situation that they're still investigating. So it's like, oh shit, another one. So Detroit, kudos to you for being the gambling team in the NFL. I'll give you that. Yep. You win that award for dumbassery of the offseason. Joining John Moran and some other cats already with all your dumbassery.
Yep.
Change your name, Detroit Gamblers.
Yep, Detroit Gamblers. So
that sounds like an XFL team.
It does. But we can go to we'll go straight to the schedule, or you want to do a little mini camp talk with the Cowboys and the Bills?
I mean, is there a lot of mini camp talk? I mean, outside of Tony Pollard is actually participating, which is good.
Which is good. That's a good sign.
There's been conversations of Ezekiel Elliott potentially re-signing on a lesser contract, which who cares? I don't think anybody outside of Dallas Cowboys fans care. And Bill has been pretty quiet in Buffalo.
Cowboys fans, that would be the smartest thing that could happen for that.
If they were smart,
because now you have 3 running backs. Because I know you just drafted the young kid out of K-State. You have 3 running backs that can run the ball. And as I said, when the Cowboys run the ball more than they pass the ball, they win.
Turn Zeke into your red zone running back.
I cannot believe that. So
making a goal line back, he'll probably be very successful.
Yeah, I think Deuce Vaughn is going to be good. He's going to be good.
Yeah,
he has the potential. He has the potential. He reminds me of a faster, shiftier Emmitt Smith.
You're the second person that said that. I've heard Emmitt Smith and I've heard Darren Sproles. I've heard both.
Yeah, because he's not as big as Emmitt. He's not as big, but his ability to work in between the tackles, and he's got great balance. So if that offensive line can do what they used to do for Ezekiel Elliott, he's gonna have and they feature him. He can be what Tony Pollard. He's in my opinion, everything that they believe Tony Pollard is, Deuce Vaughn is.
I think so too. Honestly, I just think he'll be a stronger version of Tony Pollard. right? And I'm not
Right.
saying Tony Pollard is like is weak or anything in that aspect. I'm just saying that somebody with that type of body stature is not meant to take on that much contact. And if you have a running back like a Deuce Vaughn, he can absorb more of that contact, more of those blows, more of those reps. So now you have a Tony Pollard that can work in the passing game, that can get him out in space in the open field, which just works better for that offense. It just opens up that offense more, makes it more efficient. So,
I just thought it was funny when Mel said not as big as Emmitt Smith, because Emmitt Smith wasn't that big either, like height wise.
Yeah, but Deuce Vaughn is like 5. What is he? Like 5'7"?
7, and what Emmitt was 5'9", 5'10"?
5'9", yeah.
He's my height. I'm 5'9". He's probably about my height, but he was a lot bigger than I was.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
Am.
Yeah. And I just meant to say tall. Well, they might be around the same size. Now that I think about it, they might be around the same
Emmitt was
size.
definitely bigger. Like muscle wise, he's bigger.
oh yeah, definitely.
Like that's not a question. He was a thick 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah, because he was like 225. Like he was like 220, 225. Like he was a very stout running back.
Yeah, he's probably the only running back that had a fullback that was also walking around at less than 5% body fat.
Yep.
Because Moose was Moose. We should say it like that.
Moose ran like that. So,
it ain't too many fullbacks that was built like that. Like
definitely not
a bodybuilder playing fullback, basically.
Literally.
Yeah. Like you talk about Mike Olstad.
That's a freak. He don't count. He's like a genetic anomaly. He was a fullback that should have been a running back and a middle linebacker at the same time.
Honestly, he could have went both ways.
He definitely could have played on both sides of the ball. Like
he wouldn't have been mad at it either.
Nah, he probably wouldn't have been mad at both sides.
Yeah.
So as far as schedules go, let's see. Who you want first?
This is Mulich's portion of the show. He wanted this one. We wanted Mulich's take on this, or was it
Cowboys Bills, right?
Yes, we are on the east side of this discussion. Yes.
Let's go ahead and get into this, man, because I'm in the business to piss off some Cowboy fans today.
So we're gonna start with the Bills. We'll start with the Cowboys first.
Oh yeah, I'm starting off hot. I'm ready to piss off some Cowboy fans today.
All right, and then GQ, you could do the Bills since you are the resident Patriot fan, and you can dig into that. Plus, I want to write.
I will rattle these schedules off. I have zero problem. I got them. I had them pulled up, ready to go. That's why I operate with 3 screens. You just can't see it from y'all's perspective, but I'm always ready.
So for that, let me see. All right, good. Okay, so I see they got 3 preseason games this year.
Saying hi to everybody. Okay, the little mama saying hi to the world.
What's going on?
The show today. You gonna say hi? You saying? Oh, now you want to be shy? Oh,
nah.
She said nope.
It's that light skin thing, man. They always shy.
Yeah, she said I ain't rocking with y'all like that. It was y'all get a high. That's it. So yeah, I see they got 3 preseason games. They play the Raiders, Seahawks, and the Jags. They're gonna lose to the Raiders because the Cowboys can't beat the Raiders. I don't care unless y'all got the help from a ref and the index card. If you know, you know. Just some Cowboys. But I'm gonna go ahead and start off hot with Week 1 against the Giants. And honestly, shout out to Troy because I think the Giants is going to upset the Cowboys. Whether I don't know what the line is going to be, but if you're a bettor, take the Giants because it's going to be at I think MetLife, right?
It is correct. It's at MetLife.
That's a hot L.
That's Sunday night football.
And that's
everybody watching
the game. Oh yeah, and everybody watching. Yeah.
Hot L. Giants coming out hot.
450 degrees fresh out the oven.
And then they're coming out the gate hot with these first few games, right? Then they got the Jets, Week 2, right? That's a midday game, 1:00, depending on where you're at. And we all know Aaron Rodgers has the Cowboys number. No matter where he goes, he has the Cowboys number. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be upset about that.
I think we picked this game on the other side too.
So we did.
We picked it from the Jets' perspective, and
we definitely did. So yeah, Cowboys, you're it's gonna start off rough, and I'm waiting for this is gonna be the best part, right? Because they're gonna be 0-2. This is when everything is gonna start to fall apart for them, right? They're gonna start off 0-2. They're gonna start to Dak needs to go, sell the team.
Please tell me they play Texas.
Fire McCarthy and move Dan Quinn to the head coach.
Yeah, why did we get Brandon Cooks and Gilmore is this and watch. I'm gonna love all of the noise. It's gonna be so great. They're gonna win
it, but I'm gonna be sad too, because like I'm gonna watch like Undisputed, and there won't be any more Shannon Sharp. You know, it's just gonna be Skip just crying by itself. So it's gonna be a little depressing.
Just crying by itself.
Spoiler alert for those who have not, for some reason, caught
Yeah.
Twitter or any social media after the NBA.
We should have
There'll
talked.
be no more
under a rock.
Right. But just so we know, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put our bid in. We're gonna take over Undisputed. We're gonna change it to Inside the Huddle. So FS1, sign your boys.
Hey man,
let's go.
you can just add Skip over there right next to Mula. You know, he can just
Honestly,
join
we got
the
an
party.
extra
You know,
all I gotta do is do this right here.
We'll take his
we can be like
we'll
right
take
here in
his
the first
ridiculousness from the Cowboys, because you know it's cool.
Yeah, we can we can just troll the Cowboys for you, Unc. We got you. It's good. But they obviously gonna beat the Cardinals. Just come on, that's the Cardinals game. We're not gonna talk about that. They're gonna lose to the Patriots though. We all know that the Cowboys can't beat at all. Then they gonna come out here to Cali, to the Bay. They're gonna face the Niners. Now, depending on who's at quarterback, this game can go either way.
Right? I don't even think it matters.
Always kind of flip flop, but the Cowboys can't never.
No,
as long as it ain't Sam Darnold, I think they'll be fine.
Because Kyle Shanahan gonna run the ball about 60 times.
Like, I think they'll be fine whether it's Trey Lance or if, because by that time you should have Brock Purdy back too. So if it's Brock Purdy, good night Dallas. Yeah. Like, good night Dallas. Like, I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a Sunday night football game as well.
Yep, that is. And then they got a Monday night game against the Chargers in LA.
Oh, I think
it's not looking good for Dallas right now.
Yeah, we are serving up some hot L's these first couple weeks.
You currently have them at 1-5.
1-5 right now
before their bye week. That's what you currently have.
Before the bye week. Yes.
Because and we talked about this when we did the scheduling stuff. That Chargers game is still tricky because you don't know which Chargers team is going to show up. That's the problem. Exactly. Because the Chargers they're good for 3 games that they shouldn't lose that they end up losing, and this could be one of them.
This definitely could be one of them.
But we hope that that's not the case.
No, but we think I'm secure in. They're gonna make that trip to LA and they're gonna go back crying to that.
It's a long flight.
And honestly, of course, I am conflicted because it is the Chargers and they are division rival. I do know a lot of Chargers fans, but this is the Cowboys, and as America's team, quote unquote, this is united hate. Okay, so to continue, they have a bye week, and then
that's
they
early ass bye week too.
An early bye week.
They're gonna need it though. They're gonna need it.
Expect a lot of people to be banged up
and fired.
Definitely, probably fired. Mike McCarthy. Then they got the Rams. Early game, depending on where you are. Now this is gonna all depend on which Rams team we're gonna see.
We don't even know what the Rams are gonna look like.
Yeah, I
don't even know.
I got Cooper Kupp, and I'm confused about everybody else.
Like,
I'm gonna give him the dub on this one.
Yeah, like you should have Stafford back, you should have Akers, but you don't have Jalen Ramsey. You don't know what Aaron Donald's going to be available mentally, physically, whatever the case might be. I don't know. They've had a very quiet offseason. They've had a lot of losses, but they've been quiet. Like
very quiet.
I'm curious outside of obviously the big trade of sending your star corner to Miami, but I'm a little concerned about the Rams. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a little concerned about the Rams this upcoming season.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm gonna give the Cowboys the dub. Yeah, the Cowboys get the dub on this one.
Unless Cooper Kupp goes for 12 catches, 225 yards.
Which is possible.
Most definitely.
On Trayvon Diggs. I said it. I'm calling it because he loves giving up a whole bunch of yards.
Yep, and then gets an interception at the end of the game, meaningless.
When it doesn't matter in garbage time.
Yeah, and then they go out and then they get skunked by Philadelphia.
And you calling it a skunk? You talking about
I don't think they're scoring that game. I do not think they're going to score that game. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put it out there right now. I don't think they're going to score that game. The D-line, that defense, it's going to be a long day for Dak Prescott.
The Philadelphia Bulldogs coming after him?
Absolutely. Yeah. They're going to unleash the dogs. Who let the dogs out? And it was Philadelphia because it's going to be a long day. So 2 division games back to back. They got Philly and then they got the Giants. This game could probably be closer, depending on. I don't know if the Giants are going to ever make a move at receiver. If they don't, who knows? But I'm gonna go ahead and give them this win, the second matchup against the Giants, because we all know the Giants can be really inconsistent. You're
gonna give them the split. Okay.
I'll give them the split. Then they got at Carolina, the Panthers with baby Bryce over there.
That's plenty of time for Bryce to be fully acclimated to the NFL.
Yeah, which On a side note, I know that he is very small, but he has been looking very well in OTAs.
Very small,
very clean, very well in OTAs. Very small, very small, very small.
Well, we're gonna see what kind of Micah Parsons shows up for that game because Micah Parsons is bigger than him.
Michael Parsons towers that. Oh, okay. But yeah, I'm gonna give them the win against Carolina because they do got Stephon Gilmore, and you know he can. I'm pretty sure he's gonna make Baby Bryson pay because you know he can't really see. So yeah, I'm gonna give them that win. They got that first matchup against Washington, and I think Washington has a number every year. They can never beat Washington. I'm sorry, especially with the way their roster looks. The way their roster looks this year. Washington, I'm saying, and I got faith in Jacoby Brissett. I don't care.
Oh no, that's the thing. No, but no. See, that's why we do what we do. My man Sam Howell been cooking in minicamp. Yeah, so that
somebody need to cook.
I want to say this about Sam Howell. I was very high on Sam Howell coming out of college, and I knew that throwing him into the spotlight last year would benefit him and negate him in some ways, but it benefited him a lot more because he got his first taste of the NFL, and he didn't play necessarily bad last year. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do this year. I told you guys I was really high on him coming out of college. He's really, really promising prospect. I love his arm, his accuracy, his deep ball is amazing. I'm really excited to see what they're going to do this year. And you know, you got the best backup best backup of all time, Jacoby Brissett. So you'll be good.
That's interesting. We had a little side note. I'm sure you guys. I'm sure Mel, you've seen it. How they lost the little copyright instance. They tried to file a trademark for their name and they may lose it because the guy that owns the name is being an asshole.
Yes.
And I'm like, bro, just how much you want for this name, bro? You let this team use this whole ass name all last season. And now you want to pull this card.
Yes.
Yep.
Like, come on now. Like the Washington Commanders grew on everybody. Like we were weary about the Washington football team. We were like, whatever, we'll live with it. But then the Commanders wasn't bad.
Yeah,
it's not a bad name.
It definitely grew on us.
But now we don't know what the hell we're gonna have. We're just gonna call them the Washington football team. Like this is
I mean, and that's not a bad name, but it's just that whole situation is just messy. I just feel like they're waiting. They're picking and choosing ways to punish the team because of the owner's past transgression.
Hey man, you got Magic in the building now. Let it go.
You know what I'm saying? You got Magic in the building. You got a local boy who was born and raised in the area. He's in the building. He's in that owner group. Like just let
him file a petition for a new name. We'll just name him one more time, and whatever name it is will actually stick.
Just let it. Just either let it go, let him have it, get cashed out for the name, or just file a new petition for a new name and get on social media and vote like you guys did last time. But yeah, that situation in Washington is crazy. Then I got him against Seattle and Pete Carroll with that young new revamped offense and defense with that boy Gino. Yeah, I think the game's gonna be. Wait, let me see. That's a prime video game. Ooh, that's a Thursday night game.
That's a Thanksgiving game.
That's a Thanksgiving.
If I'm
Thursday
looking at
night game.
that is 11:30 unless Thanksgiving is the Thursday prior. That's a no. Commanders is the Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is on the 23rd this year. So that's just a Thursday night football game, which I don't know if I'll be tuned in for that game because Thursday night football is hit or miss.
I will definitely be tuned into that game.
So they're gonna be on
for Thanksgiving, and then they got Prime Video the following Thursday. So they go Thursday to Thursday.
Thursday to Thursday.
So double L.
And then they go to damn. Why the Cowboys got a prime time schedule? I'm looking at the next game, and they got a Sunday night football game to follow that.
Yep, and that all three are road trips. So we have to remember that all three are road trips. They're going to be on the road for all three of those trips. That's going to be a long
negative. They're at home for all those. They're at home.
They're at home for all those. That's
a three-game. That's a three-game homestay.
So all those games are going to be at Jerry World, and
they're losing all of those.
I got them.
They're losing all of Thanksgiving.
I got them losing at least two of those games, maybe all three of them.
Bad things happen in Dallas on Thanksgiving. They're definitely losing because they had lost. Was it the Raiders last year, or was that the year prior when they lost? When they Raiders smacked that ass.
And Washington always dog walks Dallas on Thanksgiving. So
it happens.
Them or Detroit.
Yes. So yeah, they mentioned three games. A 3-game. They can potentially go on a 3-game losing streak at Jerry World. I do see them probably squeaking out a win against the Seahawks, but we'll see. Then they got at Buffalo, and that's going to be a cold game. That's gonna be a cold game. It's gonna be beginning to start to be the middle of December.
Yeah, that's December 7th. That's the week before Christmas. That's absolutely gonna be cold.
It's gonna be a cold game.
In Buffalo?
Yeah.
In Buffalo.
That game is in Buffalo,
Oh.
yeah.
In Buffalo. And we all know Dak doesn't play well in cold weather. So that's gonna be another L. But then they get some sunshine. Right? They get to go in sunshine and the beach. And the only problem is they got to run into that track team down in Miami, the 4x1 team that we was talking about a few weeks ago down in Miami.
Oh yeah.
So while you guys getting that sunshine,
You don't take that hot L too.
make sure you stretch and drink some water because y'all know that humid down there in Miami is crazy. The humidity is crazy.
Yeah.
So make sure you drink some water because y'all gonna be running. You're gonna be running a lot, and it's not gonna be pretty for you because I don't think your DBs are gonna hold up against that goddamn 4x1 team that's based out of Jamaica. And then they got Detroit. This is a Saturday game.
Yeah. I like Saturday night football. That's kind of live.
Saturday night football.
That's right around the New Year's Six bowl games too. So we got a lot of football happening that week.
It's gonna be a lot of football happening. So
a lot of football going on.
So if you're here now, make sure you guys are here then because it's gonna be a lot of football talk at that point in time. We got college, we got NFL playoffs, we got NFL championships. It's gonna be a lot, bro. Make sure you guys are tuned in. But
I really hope Detroit is where I think they'll be by that time of the season.
Oh, I got Detroit beating them.
I don't care.
I'm talking about as far as I'm talking about overall record. Like we'll get to that when we get there, but I hope Detroit is where I hope they are at that time.
I got Detroit winning this game. And then they got at Washington, and that one's a TBD because everything is up for grabs a lot this year after a certain week.
After week 7, everything is flexible.
Yep. So then they got at Washington, and I don't see them winning that game at Washington. Every time the Cowboys play at Washington, that's the last game of the season, by the way. Every time they play at Washington, it seems like Dak is a lawn chair and he gets folded up.
Well, that game may not even matter by that time, too. Like
It may
depending
not
on
even
the
matter,
record situation.
No, but Washington will take it personal.
I got a hot take for you guys. You guys ready? I'm calling after week 13. They're gonna start to question Dak's job. Week 13. Now wait for it.
Do you think that long?
No, oh yeah, it's gonna take that long because Jerry likes to do weird shit unless Dak gets hurt. But after that, he's gonna get benched during the Philadelphia game. They're gonna question his job during the Seattle game, especially if they lose. During the Philly game, he's gonna come out and start. He's gonna have a bad game. They're gonna bench him. Mark my words.
Who's your backup?
Is it still what's the name from last year?
What's the name from last year?
No, Cooper Rush is going. He's in Detroit. He's in Denver.
Oh, you sure right. Cooper Rush is not there no more. Who the hell is their backup now?
Who is their backup now? That's a good point.
Let's find out.
Cooper Rush is I think he's in Denver.
Will Greer?
Oh, from the XFL.
They still got Will Greer.
That's true.
Will Greer is from the XFL. Yeah.
I like Will Greer though. I do
like Will Greer. Will Greer, he's a good veteran presence. That's not.
Yeah, so Dak's definitely getting benched for Will Greer. It's gonna happen during the Eagles game.
All right.
Okay. So basically, we got the Cowboys with a top 3 pick in the NFL draft in 2024.
Yep,
that's what it sounds like to me.
Sounds
like we have a really bad season for Dallas.
Yep.
Like they'll be fighting for 3rd in their division type of situation.
Probably like toggling between 3rd and 4th.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm okay with that 100%.
I'm not against it. I would.
Just wait till we get down the line. This is gonna get even more. It's gonna get even better.
So everybody out there on TikTok who like to watch and say that we have L takes, keep them receipts. Just keep them receipts. When we get to week 15, 16, keep them receipts because we just might post them motherfuckers on the screen when that time comes.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm good for it. And I will call you out.
Absolutely.
I will take my L gladly if I'm wrong. But if I'm not wrong,
100%.
We can pin it to the screen. We can pin it to the screen. Don't worry about it. It can happen.
You best believe I'm coming for that head. If
it can
happen,
happen.
coming for that head.
Okay.
Or I'm just gonna let Mel get the solo screen and just let Mel just go off on y'all while he sip his margarita.
While he sip his
sit here with my daughter and just laugh at y'all.
Oh, yeah. That's what we do. By week 15, I'll be full blown vodka. It won't even be. By then, it's gonna be crazy.
I'll just be drinking whiskey and laughing.
Yeah. You got the Bills.
I
Yeah,
do.
you
Let's
got the
get this
Bills,
pivot.
brother.
Let's get this pivot. So we come out the gate with I hate to call it a battle for New York, but all three of these teams are in New York. So it kind of weirdly works out that way, except the Bills are a lot closer to Niagara Falls than anything else. So
True.
they open up the season against the New York Jets on Monday Night Football.
Whew, that's crazy.
Which we did talk about that game, and we picked that when we talked about the Jets schedule, and we all had Buffalo winning that game. It was handily because you got an experienced team versus. I mean, but we still gave credit to the Jets secondary because they still have a solid defense, a solid pass rush. But we have, Aaron Rodgers continues to be nicked up in OTAs every time you turn around. It's a quad here, it's a calf there, it's this there. I'm like, here we go. Rodgers already getting banged up. We ain't even started playing games yet. But and we should have Von Miller back by that time as well for Buffalo. So
true.
Things will get real interesting.
Let's just hope Josh Allen doesn't throw 3 picks in the red zone.
That's true, 100%. If he throws picks in the red zone, then we go back to what I've already said about Josh Allen, which go back and check the show, check the tape if you ain't heard what I said already. And if you don't like it,
oh well,
show me where I'm wrong. The stats say otherwise, but show me where I'm wrong.
Check the tape.
Right.
If you don't like it, check the tape.
Like week 2, they got the Raiders. I'm sorry, Raiders fans. It's probably going to happen. It's probably not going to be pretty. So, if y'all decide to stay home, I'm not going to be mad at you.
The Raiders have no defense. Game. So Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis and even the new running backs that they got are probably going to have a field day against the Raiders.
For all my fantasy football players out there, start all your Bills against the Raiders that particular week.
Do not take the Raiders defense. Tell me
not take the Raiders defense. Don't stream the Raiders defense.
You never take
the Bills defense. Start them immediately on site.
Absolutely.
And do not start any quarterback that the Raiders throw out there.
Absolutely.
You want to have negative fantasy points.
Yep. And don't start the
That's just maybe you know what the best Raiders player to start that week is going to be their kicker.
Yep. I would say Devontae Adams too, because I don't see any Bills players really.
Yeah, you got to be careful. That'll be one. You do start your stars in fantasy, but that's the week you got to be careful on.
That one is true. You probably you might get away with starting Josh Jacobs though.
Now you might. Now from a PPR perspective with Devontae Adams, you'll probably be okay.
I would say so too.
I think you can bet on 6 catches, almost 100 yards, if not maybe right at 100, may or maybe not a touchdown. So you'll get a decent PPR day, but standard league, we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Depending on who's there for the Raiders.
Yeah, week 3 we got Mel's Washington Commanders. That game could actually have some fireworks involved in it.
I think so too.
I like the offenses of both of these teams. There actually could be some legitimate fireworks in this game. This game is at FedEx Field, so this would be a very interesting game.
Taking them down. Taking them down.
Okay.
That's my upset. That's gonna be my upset pick for that week.
Okay, I'm with it. Week 4, we've got the Miami track team. That'll be interesting. That's the division game too. So there's one thing about the AFC East is good luck betting on those division games.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I can't think of a harder division outside of maybe the AFC North that are harder division games to bet on because you're probably wrong.
Right.
You're probably wrong. Like whatever you think, you're probably wrong. Definitely. Because I don't think anybody pegged that New England would beat Buffalo in the snow last year. I don't think anybody pegged that. Like,
I did. I definitely didn't.
No.
I don't think anybody pegged New England beating the Jets off of a fucking punt return.
Yeah.
It's just one of them things. Like, stay away from the AFC East betting wise.
Right.
Literally.
They follow that up with what looks like. Oh, that is a London game. Hell yeah!
I think this is a London game.
That is a London game against Jacksonville. Hell yeah! That's gonna be some good shit. 9:30 in the morning, Eastern. I don't know what EDT. I know it's Eastern something. EDT.
Oh, I got my man Sunshine on this one.
That's gonna be a early morning game for those who enjoy watching those London games. Which I think the London game, the Mexico game, the Germany game from last year. Really good games. They're getting better. Yep. They are getting better. And that's going to be probably one of the best London games they've ever put together.
I would say so. This game is
a good up-and-coming team in Jacksonville and an established team in Buffalo. That's a solid London game.
That's a good
game. They follow that up with what looks like Sunday Night Football against the New York Giants.
Mm-hmm. I got them beating the Giants by a lot, honestly.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
They'll beat up on the Giants.
That game will be over by halftime.
I would say so.
Week 7, they jump into an early slate game against New England Patriots at Gillette Stadium. So it's early and it's October. Bill Belichick in October is like Andy Reid in October. It's just not somebody you want to see in October.
No. You don't.
So you just
especially with that defense that he's got over there.
So the Bills may get got.
So that's gonna be exciting
coming
out of that.
Speaking of the New England Patriots, they followed that up with a Thursday night football game. They got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by Baker Mayfield and company. Sorry, Tampa, y'all probably getting smoked because I don't trust Baker Mayfield. Not
the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers will do.
I love their receivers, but against that defense, and I just don't trust Baker doing. I just don't trust Baker. I just
Buccaneers.
We're gonna see. Maybe if they wear those orange dreamsicle uniforms, maybe they have a better chance of pulling this
those
game
are
off,
the worst uniforms I've ever seen in my life.
Those are the fire uniforms.
They went winless one year wearing those uniforms. So
those uniforms are fire. I'm sorry. I love those uniforms.
And the Steelers Killer Bee uniforms are probably the worst.
The Killer Bee uniforms are gross. Those are gross.
Killer Bee uniform looks like a soccer outfit.
Another one is that Jets freaking black or that brown, blue, whatever that. I don't know. I don't know where they got that alternate color that they wear. That uniform is absolutely horrible. They need to annex that absolutely right now.
Yeah,
agreed.
100%.
So you go from Thursday night football to Sunday night football again. You've got the Cincinnati Bengals. So the Bills got a lot of primetime games. And sorry, Bills fans, but the Bengals are going to take that game.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel about that particular game. Then they followed with another primetime game, Monday Night Football, Denver Broncos. By this time of the year, we will know what in the hell Russell Wilson and Sean Payton look like.
That's true.
The question is, will Russ cook? And the answer is no, because Sean Payton going to say, sit your ass down and run my offense.
Yep.
So Sean Payton's offense has been tried and true and proven to be effective. He has led the league in scoring multiple times as a head coach. Russ, sit your ass down and listen. That's all I'm going to say. Drew Brees, call that man. Call him. Tell him what to expect and tell him to be ready to cook.
He said call that.
Like, be ready to cook the Sean Payton way.
Honestly, yeah. It's his way or no way, honestly, at that point. So, yeah. I got the Bills winning that game because I always fuck the Broncos, but yeah.
No, I got the Broncos one, but I get it.
That'll be Buffalo's closest game of the season. I think that game is decided by 3 points or less. Like that's just how that. I can see that game easily going into like the final 45 seconds of the fourth quarter type of a game. Like it just if Denver is where they should be by week 10. I'm holding out hope on that because I really do think Denver can be one of those teams that's just very, very good, but we don't know.
Also very, very
I do think, like we said a couple weeks ago, we were probably a year too early on Denver.
I think so.
We tried, and we were wrong, and that's okay. We're wrong.
I think it's gonna happen.
But this could be a much better year. I'm not saying they're gonna dethrone the Chiefs, unlike now Mel might think otherwise because Mel likes his super spicy takes over there. My man is the ghost pepper of the trio here. So
Ghost Pepper Mel. That's gonna put it on it. It's gonna be Ghost Pepper Mel. That's what we're gonna put on.
I'm more of a mango habanero type of situation. So I'm right there. Like if you new to spice, I'm burn you. If you used to it, I got solid flavor.
Which one is worse, the Carolina Reaper or the Ghost Pepper?
The Reaper.
I think it's the Reaper.
The Reaper's higher on the Scottsdale list.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do Carolina Reaper Mel.
Oh Lord, Carolina Reaper Mel. That sounds like a Halloween costume. I like it. So
I'm just a cool jalapeno, man. I'm just a cool little jalapeno.
You just a jalapeno. Hey man, if you cook with the seeds, you still hot as hell.
That's the truth. That is the truth.
All right, so they follow up that nice little stand they got there with the New York Football Jets, another division game. Their next 6 games are rough. I'm not gonna lie. This is not. I'm sorry, 6, 7, 8, really 8. They have an 8-game stretch from week 9 to till the end of the season that is just terrible.
Honestly,
we're gonna find out what kind of Buffalo team we have because you've got Jets. They follow that up with the Philadelphia Eagles. They get a much needed week 13 bye because they roll right into that Kansas City game, and we already know what to expect from that Kansas City game. Pure fireworks.
Oh yeah, pure.
I don't foresee this. I think this will change. It's currently slated as a 4:25 game. I do think that changes. There's no way you play that game that early in the day.
Yeah,
that should be a Sunday night football game.
Probably going to get flexed. I would think so.
That should be a Sunday night. That's got to be a Sunday night game. Like,
yeah, that's probably going to get flexed.
I'm curious. I want to look at the rest of the NFL schedule and see who's playing Sunday night on Week 14, because you can't tell me there's a better game than Chiefs Bills.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, hell no, not in Week 14.
Yeah, no.
These teams will be at the peaks of their peaks by that time. So.
Literally,
literally,
all those teams will be running on all their gears.
Like they'll be there's a chance that is a game for first place in the AFC for the number one seed. Like that's how important that game could be by Week 14.
Definitely.
So thank goodness for the NFL and their flexing rules.
Yeah, not based off what we've been picking.
True.
We've been picking, but the Bills is going to be fighting for one.
Hey, you're right. They followed that wonderful Chiefs game up with the Dallas Cowboys. That game is in Buffalo. They should beat the brakes off of Dallas, especially in Week 15. Week 15, Dallas, according to the schedule we just did, Dallas will be reeling so far that Mike McCarthy may not even be coaching that team by that time.
Right.
So
that'll be their get right game.
Yeah, they need that. Week 16, they've got the Los Angeles Chargers. We don't know which Chargers team will show up, but that's also a Saturday night football game.
I think depending on the Chargers have, we'll see which Chargers teams come.
The game's in SoFi, man. If that game was in Buffalo, I feel bad for the Chargers, but that game is in SoFi. Thank goodness.
Yeah,
that'd be a snowy ass game if it was in Buffalo.
Yeah. They get the nice weather. So the Chargers should be comfortable in that game. Now, like again, it depends on which Charger team comes out, and it depends on which Charger team comes out at home, because we all know they're really shaky at home for some fucking reason. They're shaky everywhere, but they're really shaky at home. So we'll see.
We have the Ice Bowl coming up in Week 17 on December 31st against the Patriots. So that is absolutely going to be an Ice Bowl. I don't care who you are. If you watch enough football, Week 17 in Buffalo or in New England, for that matter, or Foxborough, Massachusetts, wherever you want to call it, it's going to be snowing.
It's
going to be snowing.
Cold.
And the wind chill is probably going to be stupid.
Yeah.
Patriots, Bills fans are going to be outside shirtless with paint on their chest.
100%. And then they follow that up by going to the track meet.
Again, they get to go back to the beach.
Yes, week 18 to the Miami track team. The game is in Miami, so they will be at Hard Rock Stadium. So it'll be nice and hot. So you go from cold as hell to hot as hell.
Make sure you stretch.
Well, I'm going to say hot as hell because December in Miami is not too bad. Well, January in Miami won't be that bad.
It's pretty nice. No, it's going to be nice.
It'll be comfortable. It'll be comfortable.
It'll be 65. Be 65.
You still might pull a hamstring, but you'll be right.
You definitely need to go out there and stretch because that humidity.
If you're defensive back for the Buffalo Bills, please go stretch because the receivers going to be coming for your head.
Yeah, anytime anybody who's playing the Miami Heat, the Miami Dolphins this year, just make sure before y'all get to the beach and then when y'all get to the beach, make sure you stretch because y'all gonna be running a whole lot. It's
like if you play at 325, go ahead and get to the field about 11.
Mm-hmm.
And start getting situated. Get your massage gun, go get some treatment.
Get your massage gun. Yep. Start
drinking your Pedialyte on Tuesday.
I'm about to say start drinking that a week in advance.
Okay, on Tuesday.
Hydration will be very important.
It's going
when
to
playing Miami.
Yeah, right now.
Get your BioFreeze. Get your whatever you use. Yeah, icy hot. Whatever it is you use, please have it ready. I use atomic. I use atomic bomb. I'm old school, so if you know about atomic bomb on my track and field athletes, you know good and hell well what happens when you take atomic bomb.
There you go.
He got atomic bomb. I am old school, and I use. Bomb. You goddamn right, Tiger Bomb, baby.
The orange or the red, though. The orange or the red. Which one you talking about, Mel? The orange or the red?
Red, always red.
Okay,
they always got just red.
Yeah, just if you don't know about that Tiger Bomb, boy, that's life saving right there.
My brother and them used to play flag football, and their name was TNP, and the TNP stand for Tape and Tiger Bomb. Well, it's a whole long story. Get your niggas.
I like it though. I like it. It's solid.
Tape and Tiger Bomb. But it was a bunch of old dudes and me. So this was back in my young days. I was like 14, 15 when I was playing with them.
I know a lot of you young kids out here are confused what we're talking about. We're talking about the modern or our version of the modern day icy hot. Okay, that's
like icy hot is cool, but there are things that are better,
way better. Okay.
Yeah, you get you some Tiger Bomb, boy. Shoot, you might turn into Hussein Bolt.
Take you to another world. All right.
He said, "You too old." Man. Listen, go. You a soccer player. You need to make sure you keep some of this stuff handy.
I was gonna say you might want to use some Tiger Bomb, big dog. I'm trying to tell you that is magical.
These are jewels right now. These are jewels that I'm
gems
giving you.
Okay, grab you some Tiger Bomb, man.
So for next week, we are back with we still on the east side of this thing. Do we want to go Commanders? And
yeah, we'll do Commanders Patriots. We do Commanders Patriots.
It's kind of weirdly fitting. It's weirdly fitting.
It worked out perfectly that way.
And then that'll wrap us up with Philly and Miami. So that'll wrap us up for the east side of things.
Yep.
That's what we'll do the two patriotic style teams in the Commanders and the Patriots next week. So y'all be looking out for those scheduled breakdowns. Everybody out there in TikTok, Instagram, all the social media worlds, by all means, drop your feedback, especially those who say that we're wrong, and tell us what you think. Don't just go out there and be we're wrong. Tell us what your perspective so that we can have a discussion. Like that's what we want to do.
That's the whole point.
If you really about that smoke, by all means, come on to the show.
We can slide these over.
Yeah,
and add one.
Room.
We got space
right there.
Listen,
hold on, right there.
For 8. We can make space for 8 up in this thing. Like we can make some crazy shit happen up on this show. It ain't nothing but space and opportunity between us.
Yeah, it ain't ever nothing. If y'all ever got anything to say or challenge our points, just come on up, bro. It's all good.
All I'm gonna say is bring your facts and keep your feelings to yourself.
Yep.
Because I don't care about your feelings. I want your facts. Because if you come on here getting all emotional and getting all ghetto, like man, nobody got time for that. Bring your facts. 100%. Bring your facts.
You know how we do.
Bring your facts. Like, because
that's how we do.
We ain't talking out the side of our neck here. We looked at schedules. We looked at film. We looking at trends just like everybody else. Like, the only thing we're not doing is putting math equations on the board, looking at analytics. That's the only thing we're not doing on this show right now.
We're not breaking down numbers too much.
No.
We do it sometimes.
Not too much.
Now, peep game when we start breaking down film when the season starts, so you understand why we come up with things we come up with. It ain't just us talking for no reason. Like we when we break this film down, you understand. You got a former player, another former player, and you got 2 coaches on this panel.
Yep,
like
100%.
This is kind of what we do here.
And not kind of. This is what we do.
Okay. I was trying to be humble about it.
Speaking of,
I know.
Well, we're not in the business to be humble right now. Speaking of coaches, next week I'm gonna have a special guest on. He's a young coach. He has a podcast of himself. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys details later on backstage. But I'm gonna have my guy on. He is not only the youngest head coach in California history, still going, preparing for his second season. But he's the youngest Black head coach of a high school football team in California history. So we're going to have him up here. He's going to talk about his upcoming season, talk about his struggles, talking about everything he had to face and all his adversity as a young Black head coach in this industry, man. So be on the lookout for that, man, especially next week.
Interview time.
So we're going to have interview time, and we got another coach. This is cool.
I love it. I love it. And we dropping nuggets and dimes and stuff. So I just came back from being out of state, and I linked up with one of my classmates, and her husband does a podcast. He does fantasy football specifically up there in the New Jersey area. So I'll be linking up with him. So when we start getting all of our fantasy football stuff going on, that'll give us another set of eyes and ears and brain power to put this knowledge out there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep. And that's what we do. Like I said, it's facts over feelings.
Because that's what it is, man. It's what it is. We appreciate you guys, man. Shout out to all of our audio listeners. Shout out to everybody in the comments and in the chat, man. We appreciate you guys for stopping through and messing with us today. Shout out to everybody who's been rocking with us. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share on all the platforms. Jump in our Discord. We got the Discord links are all in the bios, man. Any last words, fellas?
Go ahead, GQ.
It's been a phenomenal Football Friday. I am glad to be back at home. As you can see, my toddler is also glad that I'm back home again because she will not get off of me. But I love my daughters nonetheless. That means she just telling me it's bedtime, so that means she finna go down real easy tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And great Football Friday. Next week, top 10 wide receivers all time. Be ready.
Oh yeah.
Guys. This has been Inside the Huddle, man. Peace. Appreciate you guys, man.
We're out of here.